I look at the classroom as knowledge. I look at the baseball field as a playground. When you're on the playground, you're playing baseball. It's not work baseball. So how I feel like that element of playing becomes an easier transition is when you talk about what you're going to do. You've got a plan up here. Now you execute it once you go onto the field.
Oh,
I
that's cool.
just feel like, to me, it made more sense. And listen, there's a lot of classrooms that happen in a dugout, and that's fine, and I certainly, everyone, there might be a lot of coaches that do a whole lot more teaching than what I do, but I just felt like for me, it always put me in that spot where I could be very intentional with what I was teaching and what I was doing with the kids, and they weren't confusing what we were doing with baseball. Baseball was something they're going to do once they get on the field, and that's their playground. But right now, this is just about knowledge. And I think when you can layer knowledge for the kids, I think you're giving them a great learning tool.
Mhm. Coach, this is awesome. I'm having so much fun here. I want to turn the page and talk a little bit about recruiting. I know you don't use the word recruiting, you use the word evaluating, which maybe we could talk about the difference there. But I'd love to hear, Coach, when you, over the, 25 to 35, 40 years you've been doing this, and you're in the living rooms of players that you're evaluating, what are some of the things you're looking for? What are some of the things you would like to see? What are maybe some red flags? What are maybe some green flags as you're talking with the family and talking with the high school student athlete?
Well, I think if I'm in that room, I don't talk about any baseball. I think there's a couple things, and I say don't talk about any baseball. At the end, we have to get to, baseball because that's our organization. It's what we do, and we're not even connected if they're not skillful in baseball. But I think to project our program in the manner that I want to, I don't talk about other schools. I don't even ask about other schools because that's not important. We stay in our lane. And I think what I've learned is it's more about um, it's not recruiting. It's more about presenting your program in a manner that they can understand, in a manner that if they were a part of it, they could understand what it's like to be a part of it. Very honest and transparent about. I don't change my personality when I'm in that room versus where I am with them once they get here. Uh, there's no promises. There's no money promises. I think the first conversations are more about, is this a fit? Is it a fit for the young man? Does he see this program and say, okay, I want to be a part of a program like that because it's got organization, there's some discipline to it, and I'm going to be in a classroom every day. There's some kids that say, I don't want any part of that. And there's some kids, as I learned too, DJ, even in the portal, where we don't do a lot of recruiting in the transfer portal. But in the past, I think there's some kids that we felt were really good fits for it. But at the time when a kid thinks about his junior year, he goes, "No, that would be a great situation, but I don't want that right now. I want to go to a baseball program where I'm going to grow as a baseball player, which they would do here. It's just another way of growth, but they just want to be focused on baseball, and that's fine. And I think when you can really get the kids that fit inside your program, that's what you're looking for. You're trying to project your program in a way that makes sense to them, where they can look at you and say, yes, yes, that's what I'm looking for. Or, which is just as good, no, I'm not looking for that. And the parents aren't looking for that. The behaviors, I think, are very simple. I think it's you can tell when you're in a home of how much a young man reflects his parents and how much he loves them based on his reactions to what they say to me.
Hmm.
Even if the mother is says something that is a little bit, funny or different, the son almost looks at her with those eyes like, that's my mom, versus, you're so stupid, why did you even say that? It's like there's a difference